I said in my rational perspective on Liverpool that penalty miss is not going to define his season, and what a character after the abuse he's had. There were some things in punditry about him being under pressure or having questions to answer. He doesn't have questions to answer. I knew those goals were going to come because I can see it within Tammy. He's a quality individual, a confident player who's got the ability. And breathe. Hello there guys, what is going on? Son of Chelsea back here again for the rational perspective on Norwich 2, Chelsea 3 in the Premier League. Frank Lampard getting his first win as Chelsea manager. Especially at the end, squeaky bum time as ever, Chelsea will be the death of me eventually. But the 3 points is so important, and I think definitely is what that team has deserved over the last few weeks. And I think to beat a team like Norwich, who I do think are going to cause a lot of problems this season, as they did for us, I think it's majorly important for that team and the confidence of that team. A young team, the youngest starting 11 for Chelsea for 25 years. And being able to get that win, I think, is just going to boost us forward. And there are so many things to talk about, but also some negatives. And I think that will come into play as well. But I think that the key thing of this is getting that result, getting those 3 points. And yeah, sure, maybe we played better in certain aspects in other games. But the thing was today, we scored more goals than the opposition. Michael Owen punditry there. We were able to get the job done, and I think that's the key thing. And those more complete performances will come. And I think also with the players to come back, like the likes of Rudiger, Kante wasn't there today, Ruben, Callum Hudson-ODOI, Reece James. I think there are so many players to come back to really balance out that team. But I think Frank will be ecstatic with the way Chelsea responded after losing the lead twice. But that starting 11, Kante, of course, didn't make it. Don't want to risk him if he's got that injury, and of course couldn't make it. Tammy then starting up front, that was very interesting. And of course Pedro getting that late injury, apparently 4 minutes before kickoff, a hamstring one. Hopefully that isn't going to be too severe, but hamstring can sometimes be about a month. So Barkley came in, and because of what I predicted originally, it looked like Mount was going to be that number 10, but because of the injury to Pedro, Mason Mount went out on left, which I would have liked to have seen, and he did. And of course he made an impact. But that start, Tammy Abraham, what a strike! Some really good play from Dave on the right back position there, crossing it in, a great cross. And that is something that has been criticised of Dave. I've criticised him before about that, of the outlet on that side not being as strong as the left. But I think Dave had a really good game today and was unlucky not to get a penalty, not to get a few fouls. And that delivery was absolutely perfect into the box. And Tammy, right from the start, first chance of the game, he actually had a hand earlier on in the goal of some great hold-up play, which is going to be key to his game and really improving his game. But got into the box, one-touch finish, lovely, 1-0. But I guess the frustration then from there was to lose the lead again. And Norwich are a very good side in terms of playing the ball. They play some lovely stuff. And as I expressed, and I expressed when I was talking to Jack Reed from Talk Norwich City, they're going to feel like they could have got something out of this game because they did play some lovely stuff. And Pukki being crucial in both goals for them. But it just felt frustrating. And I felt this as the game was going on. And probably because of the lack of Kante in there, we were just a bit too lightweight in midfield for me. There wasn't a lot of challenges going in. It felt like there was loads of times within the game, even in the second half when we rebalanced things, that Norwich were getting into our box far too easily, unchallenged. And right there was a nice, well-worked goal, but straight after scoring the first goal, it is frustrating. But then we did recompose, and Mason Mount with absolutely astonishing finish. It was a lovely piece of work in terms of a goal. Jorginho finding that pass to Pulisic. Jorginho usually being the pass before the pass. Mason, that first touch watching the replay, taking 3 Norwich defenders away from him, and then you just knew once he got in front of the goal, his composure, his skill to put that top corner, and then we regained the lead, and it felt like a lot of games this season already where we're going to take control. We're going to start to score more goals. There was opportunities for Christensen to score. I think Pulisic had a chance as well. And we were really getting on top of Norwich. But then our Achilles heel giving the lead away. And Teemu Pukki, who's absolutely clinical this season, another goal for him. Good for my fantasy team, but not good for Chelsea. I thought actually Kepa could have done better there. I don't know. It seemed like he was, balance-wise, I think he thought Pukki was going to go near post, but because of the angle, I think a good striker is only going to go far post there. and try and put it across the keeper there, and that's what he did. Kepa couldn't get a strong enough hand to it, and it's 2-2. And once again, we've gone from a position where taking our chances, being more clinical, and if we get a third there, that Christensen header, which was an amazing save by Tim Krul, fair play, but we get the dominance within the game, completely different complexion on it, 3-1, and it's going to be the Achilles heel. I think some of this has to do with Kante coming back and Rudiger coming back. I think Vizuma, in my opinion, I think. But also it's just that annoyance and that fear that at any point in the game, even if we are dominating it, even if we are getting into the opposition, even if we are looking amazing going forward and look like we can score at any time, the fact that we can look like we can concede at any time is an Achilles heel that needs to be rectified. And Frank expressed his frustration, of course, at the goals, and then we went 2-2 at half time. The second half, I thought we responded really well, actually. I think in terms of controlling the game, Norwich, it was a hot day. I don't know if that obviously probably had something to play with it, but we were controlling possession, and it looked like just that final pass at a few occasions. We got unlucky because VAR was a bit of a shambles today, and Martin Atkinson, I thought, had a really poor game as an official, but could have got a penalty. There was a few nearly moments, Mason going near, Pulisic had a chance, but then Tammy's winner, I have to say, that reminded me a lot of Didier or Diego, and I don't want to put too much pressure on Tammy, but that was an absolutely brilliant finish. You cannot underplay that finish. Hold-up play. Kovacic, who I thought had a really good game, actually, in terms of moving the ball forward, making a lot of runs, keeping hold of the ball. That's why I wanted him in that midfield. I think, and the speed at which we move the ball from Kepa to Kovacic to then, of course, to Tammy, from one end of the pitch to the other, is, of course, what Frank's going to want this team, fast pressing. But on that occasion, it was more of an counter-attacking, right at Norwich type of goal. And I think that was just so monumental for Tammy, a second goal, and it turned out to be the winner. And I think that for Tammy, the response, I said in my rational perspective on Liverpool, that penalty miss is not going to define his season. And what a character after the abuse he's had. There were some things in punditry about him being under pressure or having questions to answer. He doesn't have questions to answer. I knew those goals were going to come because I can see it within Tammy. He's a quality individual, a confident player who's got the ability. Of course, it's a massive step up for him, and to get that number 9 shirt and to be the front man for Chelsea at his age. But those 2 goals look like a player who absolutely deserves to be as number 9 for Chelsea and a number 1 striker now, pretty much. And Drew came on, done what Drew done, experience holding up the ball. But we were composed, we held on to the ball, and we were able to see it out and win our first game of the season. Get those points on the board, massively important for that team. And I think actually, of course, it's bursting with pride seeing Mason Mount and Tammy be crucial and be at the centre of our good play. But I think what Lampard expressed and stressed, and I think is so key as well, is the other players within that team, the likes of Kovacic, the likes of Jorginho, who had his name sung, I think, for the first time by our fans away from home. I think that's majorly important, and I thought Dave had a better game today. Of course, there are concerns, as I've expressed already, about going in defence, but I think it's so important as well. Frank is bigging up his players here, and the whole team should be proud of the win today because we needed it. And now we can move forward. Sheffield United next week at home, back at the Bridge. I'll be there, and hopefully we can get another 3 points. And there's going to be confidence in that team. And hopefully maybe Kante can be back for that game. I'm pretty sure Rudiger will be back in the team and fit by then. But there are things to be excited about. And now as Chelsea fans, it's not just 10 minutes here, 20 minutes there, and we're going, we were unlucky. Now we have some proof. We have 3 points. We have actual proof that, we can win these games. And I think Frank can definitely use that now as motivation going forward. But those are my opinions on today's victory. Let me know your opinions on the game in the comments below. If you did enjoy this video, guys, make sure to hit that subscribe button and also hit the notification bell to never miss an upload. Thank you guys so much for watching. Up the Chelsea. Follow me on Twitter @SonOfChelsea, and I'll see you again.